Boomer Sooner, baby. Okay, everyone, Oklahoma's landed another. This one's actually a huge commitment here in the 2025 class. After you lost Landon Rink, you get a 4-star defensive lineman in Trenton Wilson. This is one that we got to talk about and we got to break down because this one might have a significant impact for Oklahoma in the long run. And it tells you a little bit about what this staff wants to do going forward. Before we dive into it, make sure you guys hit that like, you guys hit the subscribe button. 65% of you that watch my videos are not subscribed, and I want you guys to be a part of the community here, and I want you guys to continue to pull up. So join the discussion, jump down the comments below, give me your thoughts, and let's dive into it. Trenton Wilson is a 6'3", 270-pound defensive lineman out of Dr. Henry Wise High School in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Now, here's why I think this is actually pretty significant for Oklahoma, because you've gone into a territory that's really not that close to you, and you've snagged a defensive lineman who took not one, not two, not three, but I think it was like 8 or 9 visits to Penn State. Not to mention, you looked at teams like Ohio State and other schools like that as actual real threats for Trenton Wilson. Now, his Final Four included Oklahoma, A&M, Penn State, Ohio State. So if you're Oklahoma fans, maybe you can just look at this and say, hey, it's a win over Texas A&M. We won a defensive lineman over them. Maybe we have cut that curse, because most recently, you lost Landon Rink to Texas A&M to a bag, but it really seemed like the belief here, the consensus around just everywhere was Oklahoma moved the bag, or a really good-sized portion of the bag they were going to give Rink, and said, hey, Trenton, we're going to give you this. And when you look at Trenton Wilson, he's number 144th ranked player in the 247 composite rankings. And On3 has him as the 94th ranked player in their rankings. Rivals has him at 127, and ESPN has him at 147. Trenton Wilson, he might not be a 5-star, but the guy has the potential to crack the top 100 and maybe even get into the top 75. And if you're Oklahoma, you land a top 75 player, and just for that, a defensive lineman, that's pretty good, because the Todd Bate haters, they were out. They kind of went back in the closet because you got Jaden Jackson and David Stone, but they kind of maybe started to creep back out again. Now they're really shut back up. Here's the deal about Trenton Wilson, though. As you can see in his film, right, he's explosive off that line of scrimmage. He's got a really good frame. And if he adds, I would say he's at 270. If he adds 25, 30 pounds there, he can become a really solid interior defensive line for you. And I believe that's probably the plan for Trenton Wilson at the University of Oklahoma. Now, history for Trenton Wilson: he was at St. Francis Academy ahead of his junior season. He suffered a meniscus tear, and he headed to St. John's in 2022, where they won a WCAAC title. So he knows how to win. This is a guy you get in here, you add at least the bare minimum more depth to this defensive line, which, as you guys have seen this offseason, right? What have we talked about? Defensive line depth. That's been the problem, right? So you add a couple more guys there. You're looking at getting Cole Breeler. This could be a really solid, quiet defensive line class for Oklahoma. Now, where does this leave Oklahoma? Because you got the commitment from Malik Hawkins earlier. This puts Oklahoma still at number 6, behind USC, who has 210.91. But it gives Oklahoma a composite score of 207.35 with 13 commits. So if you're Oklahoma, you are right there. For USC, they got a 5-star in their class. They got I think another 5-star defensive lineman and a couple really top-rated guys. So that's why they're so high. But as you and I know, they probably aren't going to be holding on to those prospects too long either. So if you guys have not already, make sure you hit that like, you hit that subscribe button, join the discussion. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on the newest commit, Trent Wilson. Hey, maybe we'll be having some more good news here in the next couple of weeks, because Oklahoma's got a spring game coming up, and I don't feel like they come out of that spring game without getting a commitment, right? You would think. So make sure you guys are staying tuned in. Make sure you guys are subscribed so you guys aren't missing out on any of this news. We'll see you guys next time.